Welcome back to another episode of the One-on-One podcast. My name is Josh Katz, or Joshua, however you want to call me. And I'm here with Kathy Baker. Kathy, welcome.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. And as always, I'm joined by our producer here in the studio, Ryan Esteban. Ryan, what's going on?
It's really hot right now.
It is. It's really hot. And
For us.
We actually have another guest in the studio, which is, I know I say this a lot, but that is rare. Most of our guests are virtual. And so I'm apologizing before we introduce our guests for the heat in here because our AC is currently down and it's warm here in Southern California. So on that note, I actually have a good question to ask you guys before we kick things off. Ryan knows I have a very bad sweet tooth. Very bad. I want to know what your guys' favorite desserts are. Kathy, I want you to go first.
Probably anything chocolate, dark chocolate.
Of course, she chooses the healthiest sweet.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh man, coffee ice cream.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I like that.
I love ice cream.
Coffee ice cream's good.
I didn't say bourbon because I didn't think that qualified for dessert.
It's sweet. It's sweet. I think that does qualify. Mine is donuts and cookies. I'm easy.
Nice.
I do want to ask let's just start this off. Our guest, this is an interesting episode because we have someone very special here and we do want to hear what his take is on his favorite sweets. But more importantly, we're doing something kind of new here. This person is going to be opening a Realty ONE Group office very soon. He is now aligned with Realty ONE Group. He has brought over, do we want to call it a small army, Kathy?
We could.
So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, but Derek Carlson, the CEO and broker of MVP Realty from Florida, is here with us.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you,
First
Josh.
and foremost.
Thank you.
I want to also start by saying your New England accent makes me feel very at home. My parents live in New England, so this is a joy to talk to you.
That's awesome.
I'm so happy to have you on because 95% of the time our guests are within our network.
Yep.
And I don't want to say that everybody drinks the Kool-Aid, but it's really nice to get a perspective outside of the Realty ONE Group network. So First and foremost, welcome.
Thank you.
And can you maybe give us like 15 seconds of your background in the industry?
I've been in real estate for 25 years now. I've been an owner broker of MVP Realty we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. And so overall, it's been 25 years now. I started out as an individual realtor and obviously got my broker's license 10 years ago.
And so you're based in Florida?
Yep. We've got 10 branch offices throughout the state of Florida, everywhere from Naples, Florida, up to the Panhandle, over to Jacksonville, and back to Miami.
Okay. So you have a big portion.
Big footprint. Yeah, big footprint.
What brought you to Florida? Let me ask you that.
Larry Bird.
Wait.
Larry Bird. So what happened was, as I went down to vacation with my now ex-wife in 2002. It was December of 2002, and we stayed in Fort Myers Beach with one thing: let's go look for Larry Bird's house, which was in Naples, Florida. And so we ended up hitting Naples, Florida, and my mindset of Naples was that it was all $1 million properties. My only background in understanding what real estate was being sold for in Naples was that it was all $1 million properties because I used to read the DuPont Registry. Mm-hmm. So on my journey to find Larry Bird's house, I drove by a big billboard in Naples, North Naples, that said single-family homes from the low 200,000s. Which obviously, I wish I bought a bunch of them now. But, right. But that sticker shock allowed us to pull into a new construction neighborhood, and we never left Naples since.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know, I don't want to go off tangent. We're going to save like 5-10 minutes for sports.
Love it.
But what is it like being you're obviously a hardcore New England fan.
Yes.
What's it like being a hardcore New England fan in Florida?
It's, well, first of all, everybody's from somewhere else, right?
That's interesting.
There's very few homegrown diehard fans. Everybody is rooting for their team, whether it's, me from New England or people coming from the Midwest rooting for the Bears and so forth.
Okay.
I love it. Especially in Naples. We've got 2 sports bars in Naples, Florida, dedicated to New England sports.
Oh, wow.
So shout out to the Boston Beer Garden and Foxborough Tavern.
That's awesome. That's actually a good, I don't want to sound corny, but like you obviously are a dedicated fan.
Yes.
And I know we've talked a little bit off camera.
Yep.
Why you have aligned with Realty ONE Group.
Yep.
But can you maybe share with our network, with our audience, what were some of the big reasons?
Well, it's first of all, you got to take a look at the industry. And, obviously we see a consolidation going on. We see, which the consolidation started with the changes that are going on. I think that, as a broker owner of an independent, one of the largest independent brokerage firms in the country, according to Real Trends, I was starting to see the landscape change where, there's concerns and stats and discussion that we're going to go from, it originally was 1.8 million realtors in this country, and it was going to go down to this number. And I think that today we're at 1.5. I see a future where that could potentially, because of some of these changes, bring us down to maybe 1.2 million realtors in this country, which is about a 30%, give or take, decrease. Well, with those changes, the first thing that I started to realize is that a lot of my third-party vendors that we utilize, our tech deck, whether it be websites and IDX and CRM systems, if we lose 30% of the industry, one of two things could happen that I have no control over, which would have been them increasing pricing on me.
Yep.
Which means that I'm gonna have to go back to my agents and increase my fee structure with them, which never works out. Or they might even go out of business. We're already seeing some struggling third-party vendors that are having some challenges, and we're not even at the number that I think we may go to.
Yeah.
So with that, I've seen some changes with some competitors in town, where I believe there's going to be a consolidation going on, where a brokerage firm of my size, which we're currently just at under 1,300 realtors, are going to align themselves with a larger entity to make sure that we can offer the superior, suite of services, whether it be the tech deck or the support, the training, and so forth. So that was my initial reason why I even considered switching from an independent.
Yeah.
Then I started interviewing and I started researching companies that were in alignment with my core values.
Yeah.
100% commission, right? So right off the bat, there was only a handful of companies I could even talk to.
Right. That actually
can fit that model,
right.
because if I'm going to make a transition and align myself with a company, I don't want to all of a sudden go to my agent and say, hey guys, I have, everybody, I've got a great idea. You're at 100% commission company now, and we need to bring you to an 80-20 split.
Right.
It's not at my core of who I was. So immediately that eliminated 99% of the brokerage firms that I would even want to talk to. So then I started interviewing and I started researching this, and I was led to Realty ONE Group for a couple of reasons. And there's a little side story I'll tell you about. I've been studying Realty ONE Group since at least 2016. Okay.
Kathy, that's when we started.
Yeah.
I know.
And if I could go back and start this process in 2016, I would have been here a lot sooner, because when you're an independent broker, you have to basically, it's trial by error. You don't know what you don't know. You don't have a team of people above you with more experience. You just basically throw a dart at the wall and hope that it works.
Sure.
And I had to recreate the wheel on everything, systems and processes and all the tech that we offered and the training and how do we support the agents, basically from scratch, right? But my journey with studying Realty ONE Group was I wanted MVP to be that someday. So I looked at Realty ONE Group as like the big brother that doesn't know I'm watching them.
That's interesting.
So a lot of the things that I implemented with an MVP were directly related to what Realty ONE Group was doing.
Yeah.
So in 2018, my wife was living in Las Vegas at the time. My then, now she's my wife, my new wife. And she had asked me, which real estate firm should I go to? I said, there's only one. You got to go to Realty ONE Group. So even though we have officially aligned MVP with Realty ONE Group, I can honestly say my wife was the first MVP Realty ONE Group.
That's really cool.
Agent in the Las Vegas office.
That's very cool. So
obviously when she joined at Realty ONE Group, I had access to everything, her back office or this or that.
Well, and it's our Vegas offices, which are,
So what attracted me is I started studying the company, and then that led me to falling in love with the brand.
Yeah.
And the brand, the look, everything that I've seen is first class. Your marketing team is by far, in my opinion, the best marketing team I have ever seen when it comes to understanding the pulse of our consumer.
Can you repeat that really quick? Yeah, one more time.
No, I'll tell you right now, your marketing team is the best I've seen in this industry, and you see it the first thing you see is the brand. Everywhere you go, and I'm in the hub right now. I had the fortunate privilege to come out to the hub. Everything is towards the brand, towards the culture, the values of the company, the manifestos on the wall, everything, the 6 C's are on the wall. And you can't, I told them when I walked into this hub, I said, this is like the Willy Wonka factory of real estate. It's unbelievable.
Well said.
We,
a little bit, right?
So I'll make this brief. Ryan's been, he's the most tenured on our marketing team. Ryan's been here for over 10 years, right?
That's amazing.
Yes.
But all of us, I've been here for 7, and then you've met the rest of our team. Ryan came right out of college. None of us come from real estate. All of us have a background outside of real estate.
It's unbelievable.
Kuba, as you know, really puts a lot of emphasis behind marketing and branding. And so we are given the creative freedom and power to build this brand. And yeah, I mean, over the years, we've just built this pretty awesome creative team.
I love it.
And then as this brand continues to grow, it's like making our lives even easier.
Yep.
And I mean, in case in point, this podcast, we were like, all right, we need another avenue. Podcasting has been trending for years. Yep. How else can we like expand this brand? And so Kathy and Ryan and I 2 years ago decided, let's start a podcast.
Yep.
And Kuba gives us the creative freedom to do those types of things.
Well, he's definitely the visionary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, there's people that are integrators. He is the visionary of this company.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you can be like, I hope you're here the next time he sits with our team and like you should sit. I mean, it's just it's a creative, just, I don't even, how do you even think tank? It's just Kuba's mind is just going. And we're trying to digest it. And I mean, that's what we had lunch with him a couple weeks ago, trying to plan the next base camp event. And you kind of like take it all in, then you go home and you digest and you're like, okay, we got something to work with. Yep. So yeah, to your point, it's a fun brand.
That's awesome. Yeah. It is a fun brand. It's fresh. It's something that the industry, other than, you cannot duplicate this. And I think it's just this, you can't duplicate it because it would have been duplicated. And honestly, I study real estate firms for a living. Right. That's what I do. I have to understand what my competitors doing every single day. I have not seen anything like I have. And that's just from the outside looking in. Once you get into the Realty ONE Group ecosystem, which is what I've been doing the last couple of days, you just find out there's more. There's more. There's even more. And it's almost like just getting a fire hydrant of just everything you could ever want in real estate.
Yeah. I'd actually love to hear your perspective on the training that you've kind of been at and just been observing from our corporate headquarters, the hub. I'd love to hear your thoughts so far. I know we're still, in the weeds, but
I think from the way it's all been set up, it's the first they had asked me this morning actually, what was the first takeaway that I took from day one? And I came out here trying to say, okay, I'm going to understand the tech tools that they have, or Zone, or the coaching and things, all this stuff that I've been watching from a distance. I thought that I was going to say that it was the marketing or something. What I was blown away with my first day at the hub was the people. And I've said this to the leadership team. I have never been around a group of people that just to the core are just good-spirited people, heartfelt. Everybody that I have met from the day that I first, even the idea of potentially even thinking about aligning myself with Realty ONE Group, every single person has been kind. Yeah. They have followed up with and did exactly what they said they were going to do. And I can honestly tell you, even in my own company, I don't think everyone on the staff is in alignment like you. Like this is unbelievable. The people that are at this company right now.
I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say, Kathy. I know we talked about it recently with one of our podcasts with Corey, and I brought up the comment of just how accessible the executive team, or everyone in the company, but just how accessible our executive team is. And if I want to pick up the phone and call Mike and ask him a question about Realty ONE Group, or I want to ask him a question about a home I'm looking at. Yep. The accessibility and the camaraderie and the family dynamic it's definitely Ryan's been here since he got out of college. There's a reason for that. Yeah. And so to your point, it's not, I promise we were not acting when you got in
No,
here. It's genuine.
I can read people very, very well.
Yeah.
And it is genuine, from the handshakes to the smiles to just the conversations. Everything's genuine.
And I always ask Kathy this. I don't know if you are, Kathy comes from Remax. And so Kathy, what do you think of everything that Derek's been saying coming from, a big, massive brand like Remax than compared to like a Realty ONE Group?
And thank you for asking. What I've said before is what we are living every day, and it's the difference of the stakeholder versus the stockholder. When we truly are aligned, and we've used that word a lot today, but we're aligned because if it's not good for all of us, it's not good for any of us.
Yeah.
And I think what you're experiencing there, and truly to me, when you look at the marketing and the branding, it's an experience. It's not something you see and go, oh, that's cool. It's something you walk away with. And I'm just personally thankful, Derek, you've chosen to be a part of that. I think Josh and Ryan, the difference is that experience of how genuine it is, and it is truly what's best for all of us, because everything that we do is a reflection on the entire brand.
Yeah.
And what happens internally is going to leak out externally, and that the audio matches the video.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think, Kathy, this is not me calling anyone out in particular, but this brand is also not for everybody. We've seen that, that not everyone can wear the black and gold proudly and work with a maximalist style brand and a very loud, untraditional brand. Kathy, correct me if I'm wrong. I've spent 2 days with this guy, and he is going to represent this brand really well.
Really well. Really well.
I'm excited. I mean, we have a footprint in Florida. You've made that footprint a freaking dinosaur print now. So I'm really excited.
Well, listen, again, no disrespect to anybody driving a Kia, because I own a Kia. It's one of my favorite cars, right? But I feel that I'm about to drive a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And it's still the same driver, the one that was able to build something pretty special in Florida. But I can only imagine with the leadership team that's here, the tools, the marketing, the brand, the network of over 20,000 realtors, combined with somebody that has been eager and just waiting to drive a Ferrari.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about the future.
That's great. I love the analogy.
Right.
Before we let you go, I want to ask you your favorite New England sports moment in your life.
It is the first New England Patriots Super Bowl. Okay. I had a party at the house, and you got to remember, the Patriots were just garbage.
Yeah.
Just people would wear paper bags on their heads, and then we lost Bill Parcells, and Bledsoe gets hurt. He gets hit in the chest, knocked out of the game. He almost died that night, and it was just a mess. And then Tom Brady came into our lives, right? And the rest is history. But I'll never forget that first Super Bowl moment when Vinatieri kicked that field goal.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why I remember that moment is my dad's a tough guy. My dad is the toughest guy. He's got hands of leather. He's worked construction his whole life. Yeah. And to see the joy of this man, where he tackled me like we were two little kids.
That's cool.
We're rolling down on rolling around like bear hugging on the living room floor. Can't believe we did it. Can't believe we did it. Because obviously we did it, right?
Yeah,
the fans did it. And
Number 12.
But the reality of it is that moment, life is made of moments and memories, right? And I don't remember what my first commission check was, or the second, or the 10th, or the 100th, or whatever. I don't remember those moments that were business related, but when it's moments with my kids, my dad, my mom, my wife, that moment right there is my greatest New England sports moment.
I love that. That's wonderful. Derek, thank you so much. I'm so excited for your future with Realty ONE Group. I hope we can have you back on in 6 months and 100%. See where you guys are at. I'm excited to see you at the upcoming events. This is all good things. Kathy, do you have anything else?
Yes, I was going to say on that note, welcome to the family.
Yeah, welcome to the family.
Thank you, Kathy. I look forward to working with you and Josh and Ryan. Thank you
absolutely.
much,
thanks, guys. We thank you for joining us today on another episode of One on One, a Realty ONE Group podcast. We are powered by One.U and ask if you have suggestions, recommendations, or questions, please email learning@realtyonegroup.com. And remember, pay close attention to the details. Listen to understand, not respond, and always be a resource, not a sales pitch.